Welcome to Porn Takes Podcast. I'm Charlie Van.
And I am Rayya. Here we are at home at Underdog Restaurant and Sports Club. It's a new year. Not so new us, right, Charlie?
Not so new us, but new goals, new ideas that we have. So I guess, we're not physically new yet.
No. I mean, like, we look the same. And,
Yeah.
The Cowboys are still the same.
Cowboys are always going to be the same, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But no, it's good to be back. First show of the new year.
Yes.
So happy New Year, everyone. We had a great time, by the way, New Year's Eve, hanging out with Tanner's band, Teen Wolves, everyone here. Kicked ass.
Absolutely. Great show. We had so much fun. And if you want to get more of Tanner, come see him here on Wednesday nights for karaoke. Any big themes this week?
Nah, man, we're just finally getting back to it. We had 3 weeks off.
Yeah, we had some bad weather.
Had some weather last week, but last 2 weeks it was holidays.
I know.
Man. Had to take them off.
Yeah. Well, gotta come and see you at karaoke.
That's right.
Was it throw it back karaoke or throwback karaoke?
Throw it back.
I thought so.
Like,
throw it
that
back.
ass
in
back.
a circle. What?
Throw that ass back.
And by the way, it's for some people they do practice dry January. There are some great non-alcoholic beers here that you can try. So, hey, come back, still throw it back any way you can, and enjoy yourself here at Underdog.
Speaking of
That's right.
these,
You don't have to drink. You can just come hang out.
Just come
Right?
hang out.
I
There's
would-
amazing food, amazing other beverages.
yeah, the food here is really good.
Really good.
And we're here. It's a Monday night. Happy hour is 15 minutes away from ending. They have really great drink specials as well as food specials. Pool and poker will kick off later tonight. And, of course, there's Monday Night Football. The final game of Wildcard Weekend is happening as we speak between the Vikings and the Rams. Quick pick, Charlie. Who wins this one tonight?
Man, I'm going to go with the Rams.
You're going to go with the Rams?
I'm going to go with the experience of Stafford. They're healthy. I think, I know they're not technically at home. They had to move the game. But I don't know. It's hard to bet against Stafford in this first round.
Well, they did play each other earlier this season. I believe it was week 8, and the Rams did win. However, Charlie, I'm going to go with those purple people eaters that can really put on a show in the end zone. The Vikings have been
you're just
so
here
much
for
fun
that.
to watch. Absolutely. When they did High School Musical, I was sold. That was it. That was speaking to my generation and my heart. But I'll tell you this, Charlie.
It's going to be a good game, though.
This defense does not fucking play. They are here to shut you down and make you look stupid. Also, this game being played in Arizona, guess what? Has a lot of Minnesota transplants there. This is going to be a home game for Minnesota, an unexpected home game for Minnesota.
Listening to your accent come out when you say Minnesota.
I think it's
the Canadian girl in me.
Here's what I think it's going to come down to. I think it's going to come down to see what the receivers do with Stafford, but what Sam Darnold will get. Because if we get the Sam Darnold we saw against the Lions, where he's out there seeing ghosts and playing, it's going to be a long night. Sean McVay is I think the better coach in that sense of showing that. So, but I do agree, the Minnesota defense is good, but the quarterback has to step up tonight.
Yep, definitely. Should be a duel for the ages. A great ending to what was I don't know how to describe it. Like, it was a subpar wildcard weekend, and we'll get into that soon. But before we jump into, like, the meat of our show, Charlie, what are we drinking tonight?
Well, there's been some Cowboys news, which we'll get into. So I'm going to have a Miller Lite, beer of the Cowboys, as always. Nice, chill.
Oh, I forgot to get us shots, too. I got to get that.
Well, we can get that.
They will, you just say it and they always appear.
That's true.
Robin's
I'll just
around
start
here
saying
somewhere waiting for the queue.
But, enjoying Miller Lite. Rayya, I know you're not drinking right now or tonight.
No. So the original plan was damp January, which was beer and wine only once a week. So I was going to spend that on the show. However, due to some unforeseen medical things, I am now on really strong drugs, and I can't mix them with alcohol. So until I feel 100% better, there will be no alcohol in my system. But today will be my 13th day sober.
Oh,
Can you believe that?
There you go.
Nice
Shout
work.
out. Shout out.
Nice work.
Yeah. So this is weird. I haven't gone this long without alcohol since my knee surgery in 2020.
Hey, sometimes also just a little chill, little break. But hey, club soda. You're having club soda,
Club
right?
soda and
It's
lime.
fun.
Yep.
It is fun. It is bubbly like you.
Oh, thanks, Charlie.
Yay.
Okay. So I thought the most appropriate way to kick off our show today was the final Cowboys therapy of this season.
Is there always a final therapy?
This is,
I mean-
It's ongoing therapy.
That's right. The conclusion.
And then, we'll kick off the therapy series yet again when we get closer to draft day, when we start signing free agents, when all of that stuff starts shaking out this spring. But until then, let's start with the news that dropped today. Today we find out that Jerry Jones has decided not to extend Coach Mike McCarthy's contract. Not so much of a shocker, but kind of lame that he waited to the second to last possible day to do it. Or today's the last day because the contract ends tomorrow.
Ends tomorrow, yeah. So it is lame, but I felt like part of this too. I mean, we were talking about it all weekend instead of really looking at the wild cards, So I'm not too surprised. It just sucks for Mike McCarthy, who could have had other options already. It does suck in the fact that there are several guys that are considered top-tier candidates, like a Aaron Glenn, like a Ben Johnson, that you don't have the availability right now because they're in the playoffs. This is something you should have done probably after the Buccaneers game, so you just let it ride too long.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hate that they blocked him from interviewing with
With the
other
Bears.
teams.
Yeah.
It's kind of shady. It was really off-putting. And for those free agent coaches out there, why come to Dallas if you know you're going to be treated a certain type of way?
Yeah, but I've always felt. Well, here's what I'll say real quick. There's a couple of teams I will say that people feel like they can fix. Cleveland Browns are one, the Raiders are one, and the Cowboys. People feel like they can come in.
I'm sorry. The way that you phrase that, making it sound like those girls that date bad boys with the with the heart of gold, and they're trying their damnedest to fix them, but they end up
It's
hurting in the
100%
end.
true. Everybody talks
Wow.
about they
Yeah.
want to come here, but it's a tall task. We all know.
That's right.
Yeah. So you sent me a very interesting. You sent us a very interesting screenshot today.
Yes.
From I believe that was on X, right? The
Yes.
odds of who's going to be the next Cowboys coach.
They're already out there.
Why don't you share the top four candidates?
Let me
four or five candidates. with us.
Let me bring it out.
I am just.
I know. We'll get to
with
Tanner. We'll get to
excitement.
Tanner's. We'll get to
know.
Tanner. Tanner
You
is
have
already.
you have had the two long shot predictions of the season, and both of them could potentially come true, one of them almost did.
Yeah.
This one, you might be right, and
There's
I might have
method
to
to
bow
the
If
down
madness.
he's
to
right,
you.
Tanner has to go streaking.
Oh, dude.
No, Rumpleman's for everybody.
Rumple-
That's right.
Okay, so number one, which I think is not really shocking, but also awkward at the same time for how things ended. Kellen Moore is a plus 250, which means, he is really, he's in there 5-2. Obviously, Kellen Moore parted ways a couple of years ago, went on to Chargers. Things didn't work out now. He's in the divisional round with the Eagles. He's a very familiar face, obviously. I don't know.
Yeah.
We know how it didn't work here.
I don't feel like he has that get in that ass energy
No.
that we all need from a coach.
He has that
No.
controlled.
I feel like in Philly, the reason why he's been so successful is because of Saquon.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Just like when he had Zeke here. So I don't know what he can bring to this really depleted Dallas team. Not just the offense. When you're the head coach, you're in charge of everything top to bottom, right? And it's your job to lead, and it's your job to put the schemes together on both sides. You listen to the offense, you listen to the defense, you listen to special teams. I don't see how Kellen Moore could fit that role when he hasn't been as successful as we all thought he was going to be as an OC.
Yeah, and he didn't really have that run game in Los Angeles either. So, yeah, that run game masked a lot of errors. But it is a safe, familiar face, but how do we patch this up to bring him back? Because that was awkward. Got to be awkward.
Yeah, so I guess that's a three of us vote no to basic bitch Kellen Moore.
We've seen it. It's no different than bringing
I have a different
Jason
reason
Garrett
than you
back.
guys
Okay,
to vote
go,
no.
go.
The head coach position for the Dallas Cowboys means that you're doing whatever Jerry says.
Absolutely.
Jerry did not get better at staying back and letting a professional do their job. He got worse.
Yeah.
Right? So at this point, all you need to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys is a yes man. Whatever you say, Jerry. This is it right here. Yes, sir, Jerry. And you know who's going to do that?
Hold on. Oh, Kellen Moore.
My boy, Deion Sanders.
Okay,
Well,
so
well,
where,
you jumped ahead.
where,
I did.
yeah, where is Dion on this list?
D-
Because you opened that door.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
you did open that door. He is number 2,
Oh,
3-1.
yeah.
Look at
Odds
you.
favorite to be the Dallas Prime former standout cornerback here. Got to see him play back in the day.
Sure.
Has lived here for a long time. Coached here in the high school.
That's right.
So, another person though, no matter what, that is familiar with Jerry. Jerry likes to sell seats.
It's a tribute for the Fires. I had to tune it out.
It's like, what are we doing?
I'm struggling to. Okay, so for everyone's knowledge, we've got Monday Night Football going
Yes,
on,
we
and they
do.
have Rachel Platten singing "Fight Song" as a tribute to the LA fires, which prayers go out to the families and everyone affected, first responders doing their thing. But this is what the NFL chose to highlight that tonight, so it's kind of caught us all off guard.
Yeah. Well, she did the right thing making that song, so she'll have work forever.
Forever, ever.
Yeah.
Royalties to the day she dies and beyond.
So Deion Sanders is the close number 2. Obviously, I'll say this. We've talked about this over and over again about attendance and even just being at that last Commanders game is still 40% Commanders fans, which is usually abnormal. So if you want to shake things up, even culturally, we see how he did turn around Colorado in that and
Okay.
made them excited.
Okay. I don't like that phrase, turned around Colorado. They're not a good football team.
Well,
No,
they had
they're
one win
not.
though, but they
They're
only
not.
had one win until
What
he win
What he did was he turned Colorado into a destination for schools, for students, for players. It's about the name brand, which kind
Yeah.
of fits the role of the Dallas Cowboys.
No.
The Dallas Cowboys isn't about talent. It's about being a Dallas Cowboy and wearing the star on your helmet and all of that stuff. So, to me, that's a good draw for Deion. I cannot believe I'm saying this. I cannot believe it. Hold on. And he has the, wait for it, get in that ass energy. They
He
literally
looks good on camera.
They
She
literally
just wants to
posted
say that.
him.
Get on in there.
See,
you
don't
want to get in that ass,
don't
bro.
need alcohol to get in that ass, apparently. But listen, they posted a
Neither
video.
do doctors.
They posted a video of him today speaking to the next group of athletes at
Mm-hmm.
Colorado. Basically said, hey, if you skip class, I'm going to get you. If you're getting D's and F's, I'm going to take your money. I'm taking the money the school is paying you because my kids are going to be good students. That's wild to me.
That's great.
So-
It looks really good on camera.
It looks great on camera.
It makes parents
So
excited.
I'll say this about Deion. He reminds me, though, I won't bring his college tenure the same, but his approach is a lot like how John Wooden was. John Wooden, you had to dress classy. You couldn't have a
That's right.
mustache. You
There's
had to
a
be
dress code now.
perfection. And Deion is the same way. You want to talk? His son came late to a meeting. He had to sit. He had to sit out a game, a bowl game.
Yeah.
So he doesn't play around. But he will get the best out of his guys, no matter what. They will fight for him.
My only
I think
concern.
Jerry is going to have a really great mouthpiece and publicity guy, and that's all he cares
But
about.
it's a double-edged sword because I think Deion will come with that fire and that passion of wanting to control his own shit, right? And that's the whole reason you're a college coach these days because you get to be coach and GM in
Yeah.
college. So when you come into the NFL from that as your background, that's going to be an adjustment. And I think that's what his terms are going to be with Jerry because I think, honestly, this is the job Deion wants. Whether Shador and Shiloh come with him or not, this is the job for Deion.
Well,
I'm glad to have you on my side.
I hate
I'll say
myself
this.
so much
Marcus
right
Spear,
now.
Marcus Spear said this earlier today too, and it's I think Deion actually could say, "Hey, let's just try it my way. Let's see." And Jerry might actually be open to that because I'm going to tell you, you say when it doesn't matter. But you need both. You need
absolutely
both
do need
because I've been to these games more than anybody.
You need
and
to
I
kill
can
your
tell
babies.
No,
You need to kill
no,
those babies. It's
Oh,
over.
God.
No,
Wow,
I
that
think,
was so dark.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's what you have to do when you're in
I-
show
I
business
think-
and Jerry is in show business.
it don't matter. People are backing out when we were 12-5. So I think there needs to be that flair, but also that accountability. And the one thing is Deion doesn't play around. So I don't think it is
It's going to be
bad.
a really good TV show.
Oh,
Okay,
all around.
okay,
You can win
so-
and have good TV.
So I'm voting yes because I am now on Tanner's bandwagon. What is your vote?
I'm not anti Deion at all.
And
I
then,
need to. I mean, as long as there's the accountability, the cells will be there because he's Dion. He's a personality.
Oh, yeah,
But these players deserve the win, and I think they need a coach who also understands them. That's the thing. I think where Mike McCarthy was out of touch is I don't think he could relate as much and connect. I think that's also why he sat out a year after that Green Bay. Dion, I mean, half of the guys that are going to be coming in that's going to be this roster are these 20, 21-year-olds in the draft.
For sure.
okay.
I think Dion is a little closer to the youth than Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, no, I think so.
Absolutely.
And I'm totally fine. I mean, it'll be fun. He'll be on
Skip
the fan.
Bayless call him a bump on a log, and I'm like, that's the only time I've ever agreed with you, Skip.
Ew. Anyway.
Hey, real quick. We were supposed to do these shots earlier, but in honor of nearly having a 70-yard field goal,
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
we're staring down the barrel of Deion Sanders being head coach of the Cowboys.
And you were close to the record.
And I almost got the record. That's a pretty good silver
That's a
medal.
trifecta for you, for sure. Congratulations. So sorry I can't participate. Charlie, don't
That's
die.
why we're drinking Rumpleman.
Rumpleman. Oh, no.
I like a little fire and ice.
Oh, man. Christmas is not over yet. Candy cane.
Do you need
Whoa.
water or anything? You good?
Oh, no. I got water. I got
It
Miller Lite.
legitimately smells like mouthwash over here.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much.
That's good.
Only one of those. Only one.
Okay, well, who's the third candidate on this list?
I always hate when the phone does that. It locks. Okay. Ooh, now for maybe the looks factor.
Uh-oh.
He's didn't have the best go at head coach, but he's been doing so well so far as a coordinator. Cliff Kingsbury is a 5-1
Oh, my God.
favorite right now. So
Okay.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Let me take this one because I've been the one advocating for a young, hot coach.
Nice.
Anybody but him. I do not think this man has the swagger of a head coach. I think he's a brilliant offensive
yeah.
coordinator, but he can't lead a whole team.
Nah.
And I think he's just way too cool for school. Like, he's not like the nerdy hot, like a Sean McVay. He's
No, he's
just
Bobby
hot.
fucking Fisher. He's,
Bobby, he's a little hotter than Bobby Fisher. No. I'll say that.
But anyway, all of that to say,
Nothing against Bobby Fisher.
my vote for Cliff is a hell no.
And I don't think the Commanders will let him walk. What he's
Absolutely
doing
not.
with
Rain
Daniels,
Man is
yeah,
not leading
let
the
him
team.
let him
You know
be
what I mean?
let him be the Ben Johnson for them. And I think he just prefers the quarterback development anyways.
yeah,
right
that's
now.
his strength. He should stick to it.
I'll give you an extra one right here, and this is a guy that
Now here's a guy.
here is a guy I would now here's a guy I wouldn't mind for what he's doing there in Buffalo. It took a lot of nothing at first. I'm not saying all nothing, but it was scarce and turned it around. I mean, yes, they have Josh Allen, but still, you got to make the plays, and that's Joe Brady, and he's a 7-1.
I feel like he just, you said it already, a lot of that is Josh Allen. You watched that game the other night, the playoff game, and Josh Allen just really knows how to take over a game, call audibles, just fucking put his head down and run through people. I think that plays a lot into Joe Brady's success, honestly, and so I'm not.
Having an excellent field general will make you look really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I will
There's
say-
a reason why he's an MVP candidate this season.
I will say this. He's not at the top of my list, but I think any of these guys can do better than what we've seen in the offense in the last couple of years because the lack of creativity. Yes, you need a general, but you still need a lot more to creative because you can. I mean, we've seen Dak with some crap, and he was a MVP front runner last year. So I don't have him at the top of my list. Now I'm just gonna throw out a name. Can I throw out a name that's on the
go
list
for
and
it.
he's not available? It's Bill Belichick. It's still on there. He'll back out of UNC. Did you see he got his first other transfer quarterback from Texas, young guy,
Oh, really?
freshman. Looks like one of the One Direction. He
Oh,
has,
my goodness.
Yeah, he's got a lot of hair.
Yeah, he looked like he worked at Hollister with me back in the day.
Oh,
Oh,
goodness.
boy.
I worked in the back, not the front, though. Let's
I was
be
about to say, you got a face
I was
for
the
radio,
Igor
buddy.
in the back. They didn't blow the flute. I come in. Anyways, he's on there.
Not nice.
Of course, Ben Johnson, but that's far down. I think he's long out of it. And your front runner, one of them, Brian Flores, is 14-1.
Yeah.
Where does
This
tight
is a
end-
long list.
Where does
Kirby Smart's on here.
Oh, so we
Jason
also.
Witten
I was
land
gonna.
on this?
You read my mind.
He's
So
not on here.
Jason Witten's not on this sheet, but apparently he has publicly said he is open for this job, right? Mm-hmm. And he's been coaching high school football since his Monday Night Football disasters. So,
Well, we always knew a coach was going to be in his future at some point. And here's the thing, his sons, play high school.
Kroger meat counter forever.
His sons play here. I don't know if they've all graduated yet or they're close to graduating. But it would put him here. I like Whit. He's one of my favorite all-time Cowboys. I mean, when you talk about heart, when you talk about, like, unbreakable, I mean, that guy had a torn spleen and still played, which I don't know how they allowed that.
The iconic catch and run
Yes.
against Philly where he lost his helmet before losing your helmet was
Yeah,
a dead play.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy would tape his ankles to get on the field. I don't think he's ready yet for the head coach. Would love him on the staff, though, to build that. Like, people are comparing to Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell worked his way up. You know, he was a coordinator. Maybe coordinator, maybe.
But it's
maybe.
so Jerry to just do it,
it is
though.
Familiar.
Knows how the organization is run.
Oh, yeah.
Basically royalty in Dallas.
Him
Can't
and
do
Dak.
no wrong.
You have to do is whatever Jerry says.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's
That's
why
all
it
you
makes
have
sense.
to do.
That's why it makes sense to bring him in.
You go up there in front of the
And he's a
audience
fan
and
favorite.
say, this game of football is a process, and we got to do this process.
We didn't
Son's been there for a billion
execute
years.
our process. That's the thing.
Here's
That's the
Turned
quote.
into Brandon Fraser from Bedazzled.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like,
Remember that with
go out
Elizabeth
there and
Hurley?
get-
Was
give
that
it 110%, and you hope the team plays good, and you want to play good, all that. Just say that.
Here's
Worked with
one.
Jason Garrett, and that guy's a
The clapper.
Oh, the
useless.
clapper. Lincoln, although I will say this, whether he's a head coach or in the staff, he would definitely help Jake Ferguson for sure, this tight end. And maybe be the tight ends coach. That's what I would say.
That'd be a cool thing.
Lincoln
great.
Riley, though, is on here. I just want to put that because he is friends with the Jones. I think he's more of an OC right now than a head coach in the NFL.
Where is he coaching right now?
USC.
USC. I don't imagine he wants to leave.
No.
So we were watching Monday Night Countdown before we got on, and the quote that Troy Aikman had was, "This is not a coveted job,"
No.
and it's really
Man,
not.
he's been throwing shit the last couple of years.
I love it.
I know,
love
I do
the
too.
honesty.
I do too. No,
And
he's-
if I am the head coach at a prestigious school like a USC, yeah, they're not the greatest at football, but it's still like USC. You're in control of everything. You live in Southern California, minus the fires right now. Your life is pretty great.
And he's a quarterback builder to get these quarterbacks ready for the NFL. And I think that's what he likes. I think he would have already had a job in the NFL if he wanted. I'm sure there's
that
been
transition
conversation.
from college to NFL just doesn't translate
It's
sometimes.
50-50.
And some guys just know that's just not the life for me, and that's cool.
Steve Sarkisian was with the Atlanta Falcons. He wasn't a head coach, but he's been a coordinator. And, Nick Saban.
Yeah, Nick
For
Saban was a
years.
disaster.
But
the only two
made it work in
success
coach.
stories are Jimmy Johnson and Barry Switzer.
Pete Carroll, Super
and
Bowl.
Pete Carroll
Twice.
coached at
Carroll did
USC.
one.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
Super Bowl, yeah. But Pete had already been in the NFL before he went back to back
Yeah.
into college. So I think it was just the right time too. And I think Pete Carroll is a good coach, but he had the right team too, and he had that defense.
That Legion of Boom.
Dan Quinn, who now we're looking
didn't
like
mean to derail you.
no,
that's fine. That's fine.
because Quinn, that's another
That's-
conversation.
yeah.
He's gone and doing better than us.
Oh, boy.
Well, okay, coaching stuff aside,
Yeah.
we'll see how this all pans out over the next few weeks as they go through their process. But before we wrap up Cowboys Therapy, just tell me, what is your mood or your vibes going into this off season? Like, are you optimistic like you normally are, or you just don't care? Do you just feel like the world is ending? Like, where is your head at, Charlie?
Well, I always care, but now I don't even know because I don't know who our head coach is. If you told me Mike McCarthy's come back, I kind of have an idea where things would go. I don't know. Mike was hired pretty quick. I believe is end of January of 2020, early February. I don't know. Jerry may, drag this out for the attention, so I don't know. I will say I think our hand is forced behind our back, and we're going to have to make a lot of a lot of moves in the draft. I think that's what we're doing. So
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting because there is a massive coaching carousel. There's a
Yeah.
lot of open jobs right now, and I feel like Jerry is going to drag this out for as long as he
Yeah.
possibly can. I mean, look what he did to Dak. Look what he did to CD.
Oh, yeah.
Why treat it any different? He likes the drama. He likes the suspense. And I guess he wants everybody's sloppy seconds. So for me as a Cowboys fan, I am going to give it just as much thought that Jerry's going to give it for the next little while until something happens. I literally could care less. There's some great football games happening in the next few weeks with the NFL playoffs. I don't need the extra stress in my life thinking about the Cowboys coaching search.
Yeah, I don't. If you put a lot of stress, and I think I already see people put a whole lot of thought. I'm like, come on, it's the Cowboys. You know what you're going to get. You just hope they make the right decision around the draft and free agency, which is a gamble. So we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be like another 2 to 3 years before we go to 12-5 to lose in the first round.
Yeah,
of
we're
again.
gonna have. Here's what's gonna happen. They're gonna grab someone, and I do think they'll turn things for a year to two, and we'll all get excited. But then you realize, oh, you can't play with a half glass full. You got to actually pay some players out there.
You know what I'm thinking? Long term. You look around the NFC East, and this is the first year we're going into an offseason where the Cowboys aren't even close to being the best team in the division. You've got two playoff teams within Philly and Washington, right?
Yeah.
Both still in the game right now. Then New York Giants have a top pick in the draft, and they're going to get a new quarterback, possibly a Cam Ward, possibly a Shedeur Sanders. I don't know, but that's going to be turning their franchise around. Maybe it's okay for the Cowboys to take the next 2 seasons and kind of, quote, tank and get that young talent and kind of start over again. Sucks for CD, sucks for Dak, but that is just the way football is sometimes.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I don't really see them trying to tank just because, once again,
They don't even have to try. If Washington and Philly keep playing the way they're playing, we're not going to even be a 500 team again.
Although, can I have a little debate here?
Sure.
Commanders shouldn't have won that last game, and I know it didn't matter to any of us, but that was just a collapse right there, defensive collapse right there.
Are you talking about their playoff game?
No.
No, the game against us.
That was well, they shouldn't have won that either. That snap, that bad snap on Tampa. I think Commanders' ceiling is high, but they have shown they're still building.
Absolutely.
But
You're not
I
wrong.
think the Cowboys are just a couple pieces and a good coach higher than that.
No way.
Yeah.
Washington has found their quarterback. Jaden Daniels is showing
Who's their
shades
running
of
back?
RG3. They don't need one right now.
How's their inconsistent defense?
They have a more consistent defense than we do. And
we-
we are losing people left, right, and center. I'm telling you, Washington is going to be the team to watch in the next 2 years.
I think you put in the right. I think if you do bring in the right coach, you bring in the right pieces. I think you.
That's
you
a
beat
whole lot of
Price.
ifs, and I'm telling you a whole lot of facts.
I'm telling you what I saw from the Commanders. Like, they're going out. I see a lot of green.
That's fine. I'm not expecting them to do anything this year, but I'm telling you, they have laid a lot of great foundation this season that's going to keep them relevant for the next 2 to 3 years while we are sitting here floundering over who's going to be our next head coach.
Keep them talking.
All right. We have spent a lot more time than I planned on Cowboys therapy, which totally makes sense. Tonight's game, the Rams and Vikings, is about to kick off, but we got to watch a couple other somewhat great games over the weekend. Just a quick highlight. Texans got their win. Ravens beat the Broncos, right? No, Bills beat the Broncos. Ravens beat the Steelers. Lions were on a bye. Eagles beat somebody. Who did the Eagles beat?
The Eagles beat the Packers.
Winning
That's
Green
who it
Bay,
was.
yeah.
Green Bay, and then the Commanders, like we just highlighted, beat the Bucks in what was possibly the best game of the weekend, in my opinion. That game was insane. So, out of these remaining teams, and including the Vikings and Rams, how do we see this story ending in a few weeks?
It's going to be Ravens Chiefs.
Really?
Yeah.
Ravens, Chiefs in the AFC.
Yep.
Okay.
It's going to be a rematch. It's going to be I want to believe the Bills' magic, but I believe in history and what I've seen year after year. The division round. Hey, you want to shit on the Cowboys and Dak all day long? I have receipts, and I think they have a better run game, and Hey, Jerry. Derrick Henry and that powerhouse. I think it's a rematch, which I'm excited for. I love that opening game of the season. Like, I could watch Chiefs-Ravens all day. I think it's the Ravens, and I think it's going to be Lions-Eagles.
Let's go Lions.
Like, here's
I think
the
it will
thing.
be the Lions.
I haven't looked at the bracket, so I don't know how things will line up. I agree with you. Ravens-Chiefs would be the optimal matchup. Adding Derrick Henry in the offseason totally took them over the edge.
That's what the NFL wants.
That's what the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, I think the NFL will take Ravens or Bills at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
either is a great story, either is a great game. I mean, but I think it's the Ravens' time. I think the Ravens made the right moves in the off seasons and in previous off seasons leading up to this moment right here to put them in the best position to be able to beat the Chiefs.
And they have the defense, too, to really pressure Allen. And we've seen that before in this matchup. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be close. It's going to be a fight. I can watch these guys over and over again, these teams.
I mean, but the thing about the Chiefs is just they don't have to be perfect
And
to
they win. I know. Well, it's like New England.
It's
Boy.
exactly. It shades of the New England dynasty, right?
just keep
do
falling down
just
into wins.
enough to win, and they know that they don't have to be
They're
perfect.
too swift.
They know what they're capable of, and they know when to shift gears. Even like it's crazy. It's so methodical. That coaching staff is insanely
Andy Reid.
good. I think the Ravens keep it close yet again, but I still see the Chiefs going back
they're-
to the Super Bowl.
Chiefs are my favorite. You can't beat them at Arrowhead. And Mahomes' magic, and what he's doing. He may not have the longevity that a Tom Brady just because time, but I feel like what he's doing right now is more incredible.
Yeah, and I mean it's a completely different league than it was when Tom Brady
And
played.
he's done it in a shorter time span too.
Yeah.
Like and Travis, Travis Kelce. They just make, like you say, they just make it work. Andy Reid's the best coach.
And that defense is like
Say what you
scary
want about
good.
Bill, it's Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the NFC side, my only, Lions and Eagles, very obvious that you're 1 and 2. However, I think if Minnesota can get it done here tonight, Minnesota can make some noise. Minnesota is my dark horse in this. I mean, we were sleeping on them
I hope so.
all season long. They finished 13-2, and we sat here and pretended like they didn't matter and they weren't
Yeah.
in the top 5. I've got comments on our TikTok that are like, what about the Vikings? Like, literally,
No.
people were mad.
Right, and they're right.
And they are very right.
I think right now, if you had I don't know if you took a poll, but I think Lions, Vikings are the most deserving in the sense of how the franchises have been shaky. I mean, obviously, especially the Lions. But, I mean, the Vikings, this underdog story with Sam Darnold. I mean, he had one bad game. That was his only bad game the whole season. And, I mean, that just shows you why Aaron Glenn's a top pick for a coach. But, like, the story and the quarterback controversy. What are they going to do
Yeah.
with J.J. McCarthy now? Like,
Yeah.
if they win tonight,
I mean,
that's a
is
talk.
the question who's the more deserving team or who's going to make better
No,
TV?
no. I mean, I think
Because
they
I have
both.
different ideas of both.
Well, the original question is, how do you see this ending? Like, who's going to end up in the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
Oh, definitely the Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs definitely. We all agree on
Because-
I
that.
have Lions.
It would be foolish to not have Swifties in your audience.
Okay, mister.
Yeah.
It's scripted.
Hey, look, man.
Hashtag scripted
If I'm
for
Roger
Swift.
Goodell, I'm not looking to give Torts in the mouth, man. I'm going to make
Yeah.
this happen.
Lions.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
It's their time, man.
I would love the Lions.
I just don't think
Love
it's going to
the
happen.
Lions.
Like, there's just something about the Lions and their magical season. I feel like something is going to trip them up.
You're right.
They've lost so many players to injury already. I know they're getting
Montgomery
David
might
Montgomery
be
back.
That's a big thing.
As a millennial, I feel this pain.
I just
When things are good, something bad
something
is about
the
to
other
happen.
shoe is going to drop, and
That's
that's why
right.
I feel like Minnesota is going to be that other shoe that drops. It's going to come out of nowhere.
it's gonna
and-
be the North.
Yeah, we the North. But anyway.
They are. They're the best division, minus the Bears. But
But yeah, in Minnesota they don't know how to clap.
I know. Well, they do that whole like kind of the Viking thing,
Anyway.
Yeah, like the Vikings did.
It's okay if you don't know how to clap. We saw 8 years of clapping here in Dallas.
Boy.
Facts. But yeah, I think I'm just going to throw a Hail Mary here. I'm going to say Minnesota sneaks in.
A Minnesota Miracle.
Minnesota Miracle.
You can't call it sneaking when it's 14-3. That's not a sneak.
Well, that was
That's
what
a
weird
stiff
about.
arm to your jawbone.
That-
Hey, what you thought? Fuck you.
That was down to the wire. I mean, it was down to the wire. And here's the thing: Minnesota sports teams have had such a struggle for so long.
Big Wild fan.
Last time the Minnesota Vikings were in the Super Bowl were in the 80s, I believe.
Oh.
Last time they were in an NFC Championship game, it was Favre Saints.
Yeah.
2009 season, which I mean, obviously way better than us Cowboys, but especially for the talent they've had throughout the years, it's not
Sure.
been good. Same with the Timberwolves.
Well, I'm
time.
gonna go be a purple people eater.
That's fine.
That's what I'm gonna
Let's
be.
do it.
I'm fine
man,
with
do it.
either or. I think
So I'm
either
gonna go
or.
Minnesota and
I think Sam
Kansas City.
Darnold looks
Can
like
I
a
tell you
cartoon.
this? The logo is red and purple.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Okay, there's a conspiracy that every year the color scheme of the Super Bowl logo matches the teams that is in the Super Bowl. So they make the
Oh,
logo
that's true, yeah.
before
Yeah.
the games go down, right?
So-
and this year's logo is red and purple, and
there's-
that would match my prediction.
And there's
Yeah, that
well,
makes
but
sense.
but it could be Ravens Commanders out of nowhere. That would be crazy.
That would also be
and
insane.
there's no Niners, so
Yeah, a lot of people were saying Ravens Niners at the beginning of the season because
Maybe-
of that.
hey.
But Minnesota's purple,
then
baby.
they lost
Hey,
their running back.
audience, let us know in the comments if we need to have a conspiracy corner because I'm your boy.
It's
Yeah.
scripted.
Look into this. This is your homework for the
And
week.
it's going to New Orleans, so green, purple. Is there red in Mardi Gras?
Nope, there not It's pink. But
Okay.
anyway,
No, but
Close
well,
there
it's
enough.
could be
purple,
Chiefs.
green, and gold.
Oh, purple, green, and gold.
All
Yeah, that's
right.
Mardi Gras, right?
Well, the
Purple,
Chiefs
green,
have
gold.
yellow, or
So
no, they have
that's
white in the. I thought
Ravens,
they had,
that's Vikings. That's
yeah.
Well,
Anyways,
well,
there will be
that's-
purple.
Saints.
that's
definitely.
that's that.
Yeah.
So that is interesting. All these different directions. What about you, Tanner? Give us your final two. Who's going to be in the Super Bowl?
Final two. Oh, what do we got? Oh, it's definitely going to be the Chiefs. Who's that leave us? That's
That leaves you with the Lions, Eagles, Commanders, and whoever wins this game tonight.
Lions, Eagles. Well, the Lions, duh. I'm going Lions, baby.
So
All right,
you
yeah,
two
let's
are
go.
on the same page, and
Yeah, man.
I'm over there with my purple people eaters. Okay.
No, I think the Lions can win the Super Bowl for finally. Also, you want to talk about a great story? That head coach story is phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean Dan Campbell's awesome.
Right?
If you believe in scripted though, three-peat history.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to let.
And
that
then
go.
after that, it's the Lions' year the next year.
Yeah.
And we won't see anything from the Chiefs again.
It all comes down to how much merchandise do Swifties really buy?
Who can the Lions get? Goff's married, right? Or yeah, he's
Goff's married.
Well,
Goff's
who
married.
can date? Is Aiden Hutchinson single? I know he's hurt, but
He's hurt. I believe he's also married.
Somebody get
Dang.
Netflix on the phone.
can somebody date somebody on?
Are you
They have
playing
Eminem.
matchmaker?
No, you know what? They have Eminem. Screw it.
Rayya, we have a new assignment.
Look, I think the running back duo in Detroit, I think either one of them or both of them are single because they're
All
relatively
right,
young.
there we
Yeah.
go.
So, I mean, I feel like it should be a double date, right?
Yeah.
Because they refer to
Ooh,
themselves
dual
as
threat.
Sonic and what's the
And
other one?
Knuckles.
So they're Sonic and Knuckles.
No, Sonic and Tells. Knuckles is the other. Oh no, he calls himself Knuckles.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's strong. He's a bruising.
Oh,
running back.
that's
Whoever
right.
is
Calls
Knuckles.
themselves Tails. Get real.
They would here on the Cowboys.
Anywho, that would be fun. Could you imagine if they were dating celebrities? But I'll double check and see if David Montgomery and Jamar Gibbs are single or not.
Well, there's no shortage of bottle blondes out here, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyways,
okay, gotta keep moving. Gotta keep moving. We have
Sorry,
been
my
talking
bad.
football so long today.
there's a lot of
Right?
football. though.
38 minutes.
Okay, college football playoff finale also happening next Monday.
Mm-hmm.
You got Ohio State and Notre Dame. Both were not top conference winners. I think, what is this, 5 versus 6 or 5 versus 7?
Reminds me of the Rams in Tampa, or not Rams in Bengals a couple years ago. 4
yes.
seeds.
Yes.
You know.
Good. I
Yeah.
am chaotic neutral.
Chaotic neutral.
So whatever is going to move the needle the farthest in either direction, that is what makes me the happiest.
So I feel like Ohio State is the predictable one. I mean, they have a very explosive offense. They have a great coach. I mean,
Yeah.
that school is always in the mix no matter what. I feel like for you, Notre Dame would be the pick. Notre
Yeah.
Dame came out of left field. They don't really belong to a conference. Their head coach, it's his first year, I believe, as a head coach.
Yeah, but it's going to make
Or
all
first
my
couple
Notre
years.
Dame
Yeah,
friends
first maybe year two.
unbearable.
Something like that.
Former Ohio State player, by the way, was a linebacker.
See?
So coaching
Crazy
against.
stories.
There we go.
All my friends think he's really hot because he's half black, half Asian.
Blasian?
He's Blasian, baby.
How about that?
He's a good coach, though.
I mean, he is all over my group chat right now.
And then you got Ryan Day, who saved the day for his job. You know, everyone after that Michigan loss was like, get him out. Stephen A. Smith, all of them.
I have to
If he
confess,
doesn't go all the way,
I don't
he's
know
got to
anything
get out.
about college football.
Well, that's why we're edumacating you.
Yes, all right.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, what a victory for them Friday night over Texas. Pretty dominant. I know there was some mistakes, but they controlled that game.
Texas shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Texas continues to flounder on the biggest stages, and it's hilarious.
You hear that, Texas?
But I'll tell you what, it's fun watching those running backs at Ohio State.
I
and
really
Western.
thought you were going to say it's fun watching Texas fail, because it was.
Right,
I just like
wanna make
watching
sure
Matthew
our
McConaughey on the side.
listeners-
Oh, Rams just scored, by the way. They're up
Uh-oh.
6.
Oh, look at that.
I mean, Ohio State, I feel like this is theirs to lose.
Yep, I agree. I think Ohio State will win, but I am going to be chaotic neutral and
Go
go
Notre
with Notre
Dame.
Dame just because it's a better story. It's a little bit more exciting.
Will
but
it move the needle farther?
move the needle farther where?
Either direction. Doesn't matter.
You know what? I honestly think the committee next season has a lot to learn from this season.
Yeah.
I think things will definitely be different, as it should be. It's all a learning process. The first time you do anything, it doesn't come out perfect. It's the pancake theory.
First pancake's always weird.
Exactly. So I think next year's playoff is going to look a whole lot different based on what happened this year. The fact that all the conference champs were essentially eliminated in their
Yeah,
first
that's not a
rounds.
good look. There was not one left.
Hey, man.
So
You know.
Get good.
There's
Yeah.
going to be rule changes. You know, maybe Texas is not a top 4 seed next year. I mean, I still expect them to be great with Arch Manning, but like, you know,
I know it's
Alabama
impossible
gets
because
an
there's
automatic
10
in.
gajillion college teams, but until positions aren't determined by committee and instead by record, none
so
of this matters.
that's how it started.
Yeah.
The BCS was determined by a record. There was no committee, right? It was just a straight up who's the best, right? Wasn't that how it started?
Mm-hmm.
And then they had a committee because they were like, oh, it's too arbitrary. We need
Yeah.
human influence. Guess what we have now? We have AI. So now you got to take AI and a human and come together and say, this is how you properly put a bracket together for the playoff.
Chat GPT.
But you got to come up with
That's real
those.
talk.
You got to come up with those parameters for the AI
Yeah.
to make it as close to bulletproof as you possibly can at this point.
Yeah.
Because, like, even though SMU got in, now I'm looking back at it and I'm like, maybe SMU didn't belong in that top 12.
I mean, they didn't play like it.
They definitely didn't. Absolutely not. That was super embarrassing.
But I
Yeah.
think yeah, I mean, you can make that argument, but I mean, if you're just saying, "Oh, I'm going to throw in Alabama," I don't think it would have been. I don't think it been much better for this Alabama team. But I get Alabama's like just the darling, you know.
Sure.
But they had a rough year.
Yeah, there's got to be a little bit more structure. It's very intricate. It's a very hard job. Somebody's got to do it. But like I said, now we have AI, and it should make their lives a smidge easier.
Yeah. But, you know, they're going to put the parameter in who sells the most merchandise, who's going to sell more beer, who's going to
As long as they're transparent about it, I don't care.
That's
and,
fair.
And I mean,
That's
let's
fair.
look at it too. Experience. I mean, we're talking about Ohio State, Notre Dame, two legendary franchises. Ohio State's last national championship was with Zeke, you know, which was not that long ago. That was 2015 season. So Notre Dame's always been in the mix. Maybe not national title. Penn State always in the mix. You know, so it's just going to be always hard for any of these smaller schools to really go up against just because they just have it all. They have the experience. It's hard to beat experience.
Yep.
But it's still fun to see it can a Cinderella, and that's why you make this playoff.
All right, give me
Oh,
Irish.
yeah, let's roll.
Yep.
Quick note on college football. transfer portal is open. We've already seen some moving and shaking when it comes to all these kids. Quinn Ewers has already said that he is going to transfer to where? We don't know yet. Carson Beck, now the QB at Miami, coming from Georgia. SMU getting Tyler Van Dyke, former Miami, and he came from, I looked this up the other day. He went to like Wisconsin for a year and now is at SMU, reunited with his former head coach, Rhett Lashley.
And then who else? Somebody else. Well, I mean, UNC got Texas back up.
Yep.
So that was signed the other day. So I don't know if he'll be the number one. Will they get?
So that's also going to play into like
Yeah.
how we see the college playoffs next year. Is like, all right, well, what big names are where now? Because they're all changing teams. So fun things. All right, switching gears away from football, let's get into some MMA action with the first pay-per-view of the year taking place this Saturday, coming to you from Los Angeles. They are not moving it.
They are not moving it. Dana
The
White
Intuit
said
Dome.
NBA and all that's going on still, so they're gonna try. The
Fires are
backup
a
plan
hoax.
was Vegas. So
Oh, okay, more conspiracy from Tanner. Cool.
well,
Um,
they're hoping by Saturday, but they can move it to because T-Mobile doesn't have anything planned. So
yeah,
that's
so their backup is probably going to be Vegas. Very easy to go from LA to Vegas.
Yeah.
So this beautiful establishment, Underdog Restaurant and Sports Club, will be showing the fight this Saturday.
Rams lighting them up, by the way. Sorry.
What'd you say?
Rams are lighting up, and the defense lighting them up.
Good.
Right.
I mean, they're probably playing with all kinds of extra passion because
Yeah.
of Rachel Platten's fight song.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Anyway,
Way to go, Rachel.
yes, Rachel, we're big fans. So MMA, showing the fights here, sound on, tons of TVs, big screen in the back. I haven't watched a fight here before, but I can
It is
imagine
great.
it's a lot of fun.
Man, we did the Tyson Paul farce.
I did Tyson Paul and John Jones Stipe
I just
two
love
nights
the
in a
use
row.
of the word farce.
Oh yeah. Well, we knew that was a farce, but
God
came back
damn.
for the John Jones Stipe Miocic. That was a great night as well. There's probably some of the same people that came back. It was pretty energetic.
Well, we'll post everything you need to know on our Instagram. Like I said, food here is really good.
Oh yeah.
Drinks, if I was drinking, really good.
Yes.
But yes, so this big card is headlined by Islam Makhachev and Arman Sarukian for the lightweight belt.
I love this fight so much. I loved the first time seeing these two guys earlier in their UFC careers face off, and it was a grappling wrestling match, and it was very close. Islam got the better, but Arman, I mean, what he did with Charles Oliveira, this guy, if there was no Islam, it's Arman's division just based on his wrestling grappling.
This is truly like a showcase of the best of the UFC right now. Like,
It is.
This is the fight that we have been thirsting for lately. What's really crazy to me is I heard a saying from listening to Chael and DC on Good Guy, Bad Guy is when you get two grapplers in the octagon, what do you get? You get a boxing match. You get kickboxing. You get the full stand-up because they both know that the other one is an elite grappler. So their best chance of winning is actually on the feet.
And that's where I think it favors Islam a lot better. He's improved a whole lot. Obviously, we saw in that Volkanovski fight where, I mean, I've never seen him throw a head kick before. And that's the great thing coming out of AKA. They train it all. It's just Islam is such a good grappler, but look at the styles of fights. Yeah, it's going to be fun. But Arman's so scrappy, and
I
he
know,
can throw
he's
something
so
out.
scrappy. And the other thing about Makhachev is he's got Khabib in his corner.
He does have Khabib in his
Khabib
corner.
is in LA. He has made it safely despite all the
All
drama
the
with
drama.
Frontier
Yeah, I
Airlines.
know. You have to go watch it to
Yeah.
see. Khabib's going to be busy. He's got 2 fighters that night.
Yep, he is super busy. And on that note, his other fighter, his brother or cousin,
Cousin
sorry.
Umar Nurmagomedov.
And Merab Dvalishvili
Yeah.
for the 135 belt is your
Yeah.
co-main event, and this is going to be a fucking fun
It's
fight.
another wrestling grappling, and both are. I mean, Merab is like mighty. I mean, he's all over the place.
Merab can do anything and nothing at the same time, if that makes sense.
Unpopular opinion. I think Merab is slightly the better wrestler in the sense of with MMA transition. Nobody's tossed Henry Cejudo around that, but Umar grappling wise is very dangerous. It's very capose. So
But here's the thing. Merab, we know, can stand and bang.
yes, he can.
Not sure if Umar has that skill set. I have not seen it. I don't think he's ever had to use it.
No.
So that's going to be an interesting thing to watch out for, is how much of this fight actually stays on the feet.
Exactly. No, it's such a close call.
All right, real quick. Who are you picking for the 155 belt between Islam Makhachev and Arman Sarukin?
I'm going Islam.
Yeah, I am also going to go with
I'm going to go Islam light submission. I know he didn't submit in the first time around, but I think Islam's even better and better, and just championship experience. But it's going to be so fun.
Yeah, I feel like this is just going to grind out all 5 rounds, and it's going to go to decision, and Arman's just not going to be able to do enough to take the belt, but would look forward to a second go with this.
Oh, yeah, no, these guys are fighting a third time, possibly.
Oh, yeah, third, sorry.
Yeah.
A third go at this, depending on how this fight actually shakes out. Now, however, if one of them gets a really quick stoppage, I can't complain, and that's that, and we move on in the very popular 155 division. What about for the bantamweight title?
I got Merab. Merab's faced bigger challenges. I think they're equal in the wrestling, but I think experience from Merab. I think the striking, and I've seen some holes in Umar, just some I won't say green, but inconsistencies that you can get away with the talent that he's faced, but not someone like Merab.
Okay, so Umar is actually the favored fighter.
Well,
in
of course
this
he
fight.
is. He's
Well,
Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, because he's related
But
to Khabib.
who's he? I mean, other than Corey Sandhagen, who's not the elite of wrestler, I'm going with Merab.
Yeah, I feel like Merab is just going to do some wild stuff.
Too fast.
But however, that could also hurt him. I feel like if he does something a little too cocky or a little wild, tries to do like a cartwheel in the octagon for all we know, I think that's Umar's moment to shine. If Merab slips up and does something stupid, Umar wins this fight.
Yeah, I got.
He's Iceman.
I got
in this
Merab.
scenario.
I think this is a decision one though too, because I think both of them are too good in that wrestling grappling for it, not to go.
All right. Additionally, on this card, this card is fully loaded. The main card is insane. You got Yuri Prochazka and Jamal Hill, both guys who have been. Yuri's been a champion.
Jamal's been a champion. It's changed hands.
It's very confusing, and this is at 205, but this is a really great matchup. This is a pick'em in terms of Vegas odds. Yuri coming back from, he won his last one, right?
No, he lost. No, Rakage was in April. He lost this summer to last minute to Pereira. They took that fight last minute.
That's right.
And Jamal lost to Pereira at 300.
Yeah, so this is a battle for who's the second best person in the lightweight division.
I mean, both this isn't going to the ground, but I think Prochazka is the most creative and crafty striker. Jamal's explosive, but Yuri and Alexander are the best at the striking in that 205, and I think it's going to be Yuri.
Why do I feel like this is just going to be like a technical sparring match?
I mean, that would be funny. It can't be worse than Francis Ngannou and Derek Lewis, where nobody threw a punch.
No, I think there will be punches thrown. I think it'll be very exciting. It'll be 3 rounds of ass kicking, and I agree.
Must win for both guys in the sense of getting back in that title contention.
Cool. Do you want to highlight any of these other ones?
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Holland, his opponent, I believe, came out of 1FC. His name's
1FC or 1 championship?
I'm sorry, 1 championship. Used to call it 1 championship. Ranier's been around for a long time.
Ranier
Fun guy, dangerous guy, crafty. We know how Kevin Holland is a wild man.
Wild man.
I think this is Ranier's fight. Just go watch the guy's highlights.
Yeah, Kevin Holland's just always down to fight. DTF, down to fight.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. And I'm glad he's back at 185. He could win. He looks a lot better, I think, at 185 than 170.
But yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, he's always just going to show up to get a check. Ooh.
Oh.
Was that a fumble, or are they ruling him down?
We're going to find out. Sorry, we do this
We
while
do this
there's
all the
football.
time. I'm so sorry. But yeah, Kevin is just showing up to collect a check and take an L. I'm so sorry.
I mean, he has fun, and he's entertaining. But, I see Ranier.
That ball is out.
Real quick, shout out Diego Ferreira.
Yes.
Well, that ball is out.
Fortis MMA fighter will be on the undercard for this one. I forgot against who because I did not write it down. But shout out to him. Hopefully he comes home with a major W. Also in that lightweight division.
That's right, man. Fuck him up.
Yeah. Any other UFC MMA notes we should be aware of?
Man, I'm excited to expect Mackenzie Dern, impressive armbar
Big
submission,
win. Big
redemption, defeating Amanda Hebes. Also, shout out to Jacoby.
Yeah, Jacoby, big knockout
Yeah.
at his UFC debut this past Saturday. I'd love to see our guys succeed in the big leagues.
Also, congrats to Alex the Great Morano going to the Fury Fighting Championship Hall of Fame. He's been a fighter there, a longtime commentator. So great to see him get into the Hall of Fame. Well deserved.
Cool. So let's end with this real quick. Dallas Mavs, Dallas Star seasons in full swing. We're getting closer and closer to the All-Star break. Actually, we're about to hit a break for the Stars with the League of Nations.
Yeah.
Or the Four Nations. Sorry.
League of Nations.
Whoa.
With
Watching.
the League of Nations.
Sorry, comic book brain. Sorry.
From 1909.
09.
Anyway, Dallas Stars about to take a break for the Four Nations tournament
Four
between
Nations.
Finland, Sweden, U.S., and Canada.
I think it's Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, low drop, sorry.
Oh, nuts.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Guys.
Not a good try.
Tell us how this ends. You can see
You can see our live reactions.
our
all
live
crazy.
reactions to how this goes.
But yeah, so Stars were on a 6-game win streak and took an L against Ottawa yesterday.
Yeah.
But we're seeing a lot of successes in overtime games. Not loving the fact that we're playing a lot of overtime, but really happy to see us get a lot of overtime wins, which we have traditionally not been able to do
Yeah, no, it was our Achilles heel all the time.
all the time.
Regular season, postseason, and we fixed that. And if you can get over your kryptonite, well, then anything's open, anything's possible.
And, you know, I feel like they're picking up steam at the right time going into this break and then eventually the All-Star break. After the All-Star break, I expect them to shift gears and just keep pushing forward. One thing that's coming up is the trade deadline. And I've
Yeah.
said on previous episodes that I would like to have a point guard, veteran-esque kind of player come in. But the experts are saying we need another defender. Where do you stand?
Yeah, I'm okay with the defender just because injury, especially with Duchesne. You know, he's had up and down. I mean, he's still a great factor, but he can't be the only factor. It doesn't hurt. I'm not against on what you're saying as firepower, but
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
not necessarily firepower. It's more about finesse.
yeah.
And like having control of how the offense is moving, because I feel like we're just taking a lot of shots but not scoring enough goals, and it's driving me crazy.
But also kind of like stopping that momentum for the other team too. I don't know. Like I'm excited whatever they do because I really do believe in this team and they're exciting me.
Yeah. When does my new boyfriend come back?
Man, I don't
Mason
know.
Marchment.
Yeah, I haven't. I have not seen a stat line yet. So, but dude, that guy.
But he is your point guard essentially. Like
Yeah.
before he got hurt, he was in
He
command of
is.
this offense. He was leading in points.
He was marching on every
Oh,
game.
he's so cute with those green eyes.
There
I
we go.
can't,
There
I
you
just
have
can't
it.
even.
Drink your club soda.
Drinking my club soda. See, I don't even need alcohol to be this way.
It's all those bubbles.
I do love my bubbles. Lastly, Dallas Mavericks going through a really, really tough stretch right now with Luka being out for the foreseeable future and Kyrie Irving out with a herniated disc.
Yeah.
Bulging.
Yeah, that's
Bulging. There we
it's
go.
not good.
Bulging disc.
Still not good.
Who needs to step up in Kyrie's absence to keep this ship afloat? I believe we are the 5th or the 6th seed currently in the
Yeah,
West.
I mean, Dinwiddie didn't have the best closing experience there. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard because, like, I feel like Lively, Gafford, you hear the same names kind of pushing. We need everybody else to really kind of step in.
I've been really impressed with Jaden Hardy.
Yeah, no, he's been good, and I'm glad he's still on this this roster. I wasn't sure if he would be a trade or, you know, I heard talks of that could have been a guy. I'm glad he's back.
Okay, speaking of trade rumors, Jimmy Butler to Dallas apparently is a thing.
Still?
I just read the news.
Yeah.
You tell me what you think.
I don't know. What are you giving up?
I'm assuming draft picks because I can't see the front office wanting to part with any of their big pieces, especially because
No.
they assembled this team to win a championship this year.
I mean, is it a sexy headline to the package? I mean, yeah. I mean, but I do feel like just get guys healthy and have these other guys step up. I think we're good. We're on a roll.
Yeah, I would prefer a lockdown defender, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
I would prefer a smaller role piece type player. I feel like you already have too many cooks in the kitchen when you talk about Luka, Kyrie, Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
Throw in Derek Lively, if you will. You know, once all those guys get healthy, I think we're going to be in a better place. But to me, Jimmy Butler, the way he's acted in Miami, in
Yeah.
Minnesota, in Philadelphia,
Injuries too.
in Chicago, it's not just the injuries for
No,
me.
yeah, but I just
It's the attitude. It's the I think I'm better than everybody else. It's I'm going to like take plays off. Like he has an aura about him
Yeah.
that just screams toxic to me. And I feel like if you bring in a character like that, it's going to remind you of when we traded for Rajon Rondo all those years ago.
Yeah.
And it completely disrupted our momentum and it wrecked us in the playoffs. And it was not a good time.
send him to the Lakers.
Yeah, send him to That's what I keep saying. Everybody that comes up as a trade rumor, like Zion, I'm like, he'll
I
be
mean,
a
everyone's
Laker.
got to be a Laker once. Not you, Luka, though. Stay.
Stay. You're stuck here forever.
Yeah, no, I think we're good with what you just got to get healthy, but we're still 5th and 6th is not bad, especially considering the injuries. We're on a roll. Just got to get guys just keep stepping up, but also Jason Kidd, I saw a lot of heat against him. So, and we
He's
talked
got
about
time.
that.
He's got time.
He does.
You know, I'm not worried about anything until
only
the All-Star
January.
break, right? All-Star break is in February.
Yeah.
After that, that's when you really got to just get up and fucking
Feels
go.
like we're in February for some reason. It feels like
Hey, we are about halfway.
I know. I don't know why.
through
Time just
January.
feels like it flew.
Time
But-
flies, baby.
But yeah, I have faith in this team. And one programming note: Luka will not be able to be an MVP finalist.
Nope, I saw that.
Because of the number of games played this season, which sucks
Yeah.
because he was really killing it in terms of the stat line. And my prediction for this year was that Luka would win MVP, so I'm really upset about it.
Well, unfortunately, you can't control injuries, but I would say if you ask him, what do you want more, the MVP or that title, he'll want that title. So
Absolutely.
He'll be MVP. He's got plenty of time. Let's go after that title.
All right, Charlie Van, before we get out of here, is there anything else you want to talk about?
I'm just going to say this real quick. We don't talk about it as much anymore, but WWE on Netflix was awesome.
Yes, it was. I actually
Even if you
watched.
don't like wrestling, it was
Oh.
fun. There was so many Macaulay Culkin was in the crowd. Like
Guys,
Kieran Culkin was in
I'm
the crowd.
going to Raw next week.
You are.
Oh, that's next week?
That's
Yeah.
next Monday.
Oh, man. You got to, send us video of you.
Yeah,
doing
I'll get some content for you. And I realized today, when I was leaving my apartment, I look at Steven and I go, oh, man, Pat McAfee's not going to be there because he'll be at the college football
Yeah.
playoff final.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I don't know what
But it'll be
anybody
fun.
sees it like that.
That was spectacular content, from start to finish
Yeah,
last Monday.
that was a pay-per-view card.
Yeah, I know. And they had some
As a
title changes.
non-wrestling fan who watches wrestling because of her fiance, I fully enjoyed that first episode. I'm like, oh, are they all going to be like this now, or is it just because it's the first one?
And Netflix didn't crash.
Netflix did not crash.
I think they figured it out. But no, it was a lot of fun. You got to see all the celebrities out, of course. And so we'll see what happens. But I was excited. I just want to shout that out because I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I was stoked that Rhea Ripley got her belt back.
Yeah.
She deserves it. Liv Morgan sucks. Can't stand her. Very curious to see how that translates between now and the Rumble in February, and what her next storyline is going to be, because all she was part of this really gross love triangle, and now she has her belt. So
She's tough. Man, she is strong. She is strong. And then Roman Reigns is the tribal chief. He
Yep.
gets. So, no, it was fun. It was fun. I'm excited to see what the content. It's John Cena's last year in the sport and wrestling, so I'm interested on that ride, but it was a lot of fun.
I got to
so.
be real with you. I thought he'd long since had his last hurrah.
Tiptoe in and out.
I guess.
Movies.
well, now it's like a thing.
Well, now
Yeah.
if Hulk's showing up to hawk beer, who's fucking cares?
Yeah.
Man,
we
he
go.
got booed.
He got
Good. Fuck Hulk Hogan.
really big.
Jabroni
No one's
toast,
taking their
right?
different
Iron
vitamins.
Shake. He got it figured out.
No, goodness.
There we go. Well, cheers. We will be back next week. We'll figure out a day that we'll be here, but we'll always have
Yep.
a lot to talk about. Maybe
Stay
we'll have a
tuned
new
to
head
our
coach.
Instagram, and we will post all the news and updates, and follow us at pouringtakes.com. All of our socials are linked there. And, yeah.
Later,
have
dudes.
A great week. Cheers.
Cheers.